Hi, second graders. Today we're going to be reviewing 3-digit numbers, and we're going to be playing a fun little game about number riddles. Okay, so you're going to be solving different number riddles that I tell you, and you're going to be solving them by looking at them on a place value chart. So the first thing I want you to know is that you're going to be drawing a lot of place value charts during today's lesson. So let's talk about how to draw a place value chart. Well, first of all, you're going to pretend you're making a capital H, and you need to give yourself plenty of room. So let's just say that this is going to be my capital H. I'm making it fairly big, but instead of drawing my horizontal line across the middle of the H like you normally would, I'm going to put that horizontal line towards the top. So this is how you start your place value chart, okay? Now you can box it in like I've been doing in all of the other lessons, or you can leave it like this and just go ahead and put your H for hundreds, your T for tens, and your O for ones. So that is a place value chart. Easy to make. Like I said, if you want to box it in, you can, and just put a big square around the whole thing. Or you can just leave it like the capital H like that. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these two charts up for this first part of my lesson. This is just a demonstration to show you how you would maybe go about answering some of these questions. So let's take a look, and I have an example riddle right up here for us to look at. It says 14 tens and 3 ones, and the riddle question would be, I have 14 tens and 3 ones. What number am I? So that's what I would be asking in the riddle. So to solve a problem like this, and I'm going to come over to this place value chart, I would just go ahead and put in the numbers that I was given. So I was given 14 tens. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put my 14 in the tens place. And then the riddle also says that I have 3 ones. Well, I'm going to go ahead and put my 3 ones right there. And I can see my answer pretty easily because I don't have anything over in that hundreds place. And 14 tens, I know that's 140 because 14 tens, if you remember, 14 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'll drag that one down here. So that's 14 tens and 3 ones. Okay, 14 tens, I know that I can take 10 of these and smush them together to make 100, can't I? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I can put those together and make a 100 model. So now I can easily see that 10 of those, of this 14, that 10 is actually 100. So I could put that, move that over here and get rid of that right there. Okay, so now I can see even more clear what 14 tens actually looks like. 14 tens actually is 104 tens, okay? And then there's the 3 ones. My answer to this riddle would be 143. Now, I am not going to be bringing out all these models for any more of our demonstration or any more of our examples. I want you to just think about that yourself. think about the models on your own and maybe even just move numbers around in your place value chart to see if you can come up with the answer. Okay, so I'm going to move on to another example. And so here is my next example that I'm going to be putting in this place value chart. All right, so it says I have 300s, I have 300s, 14 10s, and 12 ones. So I'm going to write it in here, 300s, 14 10s, and 12 ones. Now, I am seeing a big problem here because I cannot say that this is a 3-digit number if I write all those numbers like that. Okay? That is incorrect. This would not be the correct answer for this problem. It means I'm going to have to move some of these numbers over and add them to the next column. That's regrouping. I'm just regrouping. Remember when I took the 10 10s, I smushed them together and made 100 out of them? Well, I can do that same thing with that 10. This 10 of the 14 10s can actually move over into the hundreds place. I see that there's already 3 hundreds there. So when I add that one more 100 to the 300s, I get a total of 400s. So I'm going to just kind of do a little space there and make my new number underneath. So if I add that to here, my new number is now going to be 400s because I did 3 plus this one more 100 from that area. Okay, so now I have 400s. Now I'm left with 4 10s. I'm bringing that down, but now I still have 12 ones. Well, I can do regrouping again. Okay, so I can take this 10 and move it over into that 10 space, but now I have to add it to the 4. So let's do another. I'm going to extend this down a little more and bring the numbers down again. So this 400 can stay the same. I'm going to write 400s. But this is going to be the number that changes because I'm going to add that 1 to the 4, and that gets me 5 10s. And then now I'm left with the 2 that can move down and 2 1s. So on this particular riddle, I had to do a lot of regrouping. I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to use a different color. This 1 added to here and made that a 4. This one added to that 4 and made it a 5. So my answer was 452. Okay, so that's regrouping. All right, I'm going to get to the actual lesson today with the riddles. Again, you're going to be drawing hundreds, tens, and ones place value model for each one of our problems in the riddle. So here I am with my number riddles, and you can see all of the riddles off to the side. But let's go ahead and do our first one together. The first one says, I have 18 10s and 4 1s. So, like I told you, you need to draw yourself a place value chart. And in your place value chart, you need to write your 18 10s and 4 1s. But remember, we need to do a little regrouping, because I see this number right here. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and you figure out what is the number. If I have 18 10s and 4 1s, what number do I have? Pause the video now. Okay, I hope you solved the problem. I hope that you recognize that you could take this 1 from the 18 10s, it's actually 100, and move it over into the hundreds place. So now I don't have it here I no longer have that there. It's now in the hundreds place. So when you move all your numbers down on your chart, you see that you have the number 184. So that was the answer to the first riddle. All right, let's move on to the next one. And I'm going to erase. You just draw yourself a new place value chart and get ready for the next riddle. Okay, hopefully you have your chart drawn. And let's look at the next one. I have 3 hundreds, 10 tens, and 7 ones. What number am I? So 3 hundreds, 10 tens, and 7 ones. All right, I can see that I need to do some regrouping here. Please pause the video and you figure out how are you going to get this answer once you do your regrouping. All right, pause the video. Okay, I hope you're done and found out that we needed to regroup by moving this 100 over to the hundreds place, and when I add 3 plus 1 more 100, I get 4 hundreds total, and that left me with 0 tens, so you move the 0 down, and you still just have 7 ones. So our new number, the number to our riddle, was 407. All right, go ahead and draw your next place value chart. And let's take a look at our next riddle. If you have to pause to draw your chart, that's fine. Just come back. All right, the next riddle, and we are on this one now. I'm going to check off the ones that we've done. All right, so we are on the third riddle. It says, I have 4 hundreds. I'm going to go ahead and write that. I have 4 hundreds, 12 tens, ooh, we got some regrouping, and 15 ones. Ooh, this reminds me of the one I showed you before. All right, I'm going to put my little there because I know I have a lot of regrouping and new numbers to make. So pause the video and go ahead and get started on your regrouping. Okay, I hope that you finished solving this problem and saw all the different regrouping that we had to do on this one. So our final answer should be 535, but let's take a look and see what we had to do in order to get that answer. We know we started with 4 hundreds, but as you can see, 12 tens gives us 10 tens that we can move over and add that 10 tens, which is another 100, we can add 1 more 100 to 4. And so that's how we ended up with 5 hundreds, because 4 hundreds plus 1 more 100, which is here, gets us 500. So that left me with 2 tens in my tens place. But then when I looked over at the ones, I had 15 ones. Well, I know that this is a 10. So I could take that 10 and add it, that 1 10, add to 2 tens, and that's what gave me 3 tens. And then all I had left over was a 5 to move down. So our answer is 535. All right, go ahead and start making a new place value chart for our next riddle. All right, so we finished that one. And now we are on this one. Okay, here we go. I have 2 hundreds. Go ahead and write that in. And 30 ones. And go ahead and write that in. Okay, I'm going to do my little squiggly line to show my next, what I'm going to do next below that. You go ahead and pause the video and figure out what is this 3-digit number. Okay, I hope you finished yours and found out that this number is 230. 2 hundreds and 30 ones is the same as 230. So we had these 3 tens here that we could move over to the tens place, and that's how we ended up with a 3 in the tens place and a 0 in the ones place. So I hope you got that answer. Go ahead and start making your next place value chart. Excuse me. Okay, our next riddle is, I have 120 tens and 14 ones. Okay, I see a lot of regrouping that we're going to have to do. So let's go ahead and pause the video and figure out how you're going to regroup those numbers to get your new answer. Okay, here we are, and we had some regrouping to do. We saw that we have 2 hundreds in 20 tens. We have 2 hundreds to add to the 100 in that column, which is how I ended up with 3 hundreds altogether, because 100 plus 2 hundreds is 3 hundreds. That left me with a 0 in the tens place, but instead of going ahead and putting that down, I saw I had a 10 that I needed to move over. So when I add 0 tens plus 1 10, that's what got me the 110 to leave in my tens column, and then all I had left was a 4 to move on down. So our total answer to this riddle is 314. Okay, you can make yourself a new place value chart. Just pause the video if you need more time, but we're going to move on to the next one. All right, the next one says I have 130 tens. So 130 tens. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video and see what your answer will be. Okay, here's our answer, and you should have gotten 400. So I hope that's what you ended up with. I saw that I had a 3 here in 30 in my tens place, so that 3 is going to be 3 hundreds when I move it over. So it's 3 hundreds plus 1 more 100 is 4 hundreds. And that left me with a 0 in the tens place, and then I just knew that I had another 0 for the ones place. So my answer is 400, and I hope you got that answer as well. So I'm going to erase, but you go ahead and make a new place value chart for the next riddle. And let's see what they want us to do. Okay, so we finished that one, and we are on this one. This one says, I have 2 hundreds, go ahead and put that there, 10 tens, and 20 ones. So we're going to put that in our chart and get ready to do some regrouping. Pause the video, do your regrouping, and figure out what our answer is. Pause now. Okay, I hope you have 320 as the answer to this riddle. And let's take a look at what our regrouping looks like. We have 10 tens, which we know that we can add this 100, because 10 tens is 100. I'm going to add that 100 to the 200s I already have. 1 plus 2 gets me 3, so that's how I ended up with 300s. And that left me with 0 in the tens place. But I saw that I had this 2 tens to move over, so I'm moving the 2 over into this spot. 2 plus 0 is 2, and then that left me with the 0. So my answer is 320. All right, isn't this fun? I like playing with these numbers. All right, go ahead and make yourself a new place value chart. And let's see what our next riddle says. We finished that one, and here we are on our last riddle. I have 4 hundreds, 20 tens, and 6 ones. All right, looks like we have some regrouping. Go ahead and pause the video, do your regrouping, and come back to see what our answers are. Okay, I hope you finished yours and found out that our riddle answer is 606. And let's take a look to see what our regrouping looked like. We had 20 tens, so I know I can move this 2 over because it's actually 200, and add 200 to 400. 4 plus 2 is 6, so I have 6 hundreds. That left me with a 0 to move down since I didn't have any regrouping in the ones, and so I am left with 6 hundreds, 0 tens, 6 ones for a number of 606. So that was fun. I hope you enjoyed doing the number riddles today. So until the next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.